Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Verinheim. Before we get started, like always, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, D&D Beyond, a online digital tool set for both dungeon masters and players both to keep track of their characters, their NPCs, the equipment that they have, and their hit points. I recommend you check it out. It's dndbeyond.com. And before we also get started, I want to do a quick recap. Last week, the players stumbled upon a rather strange traveler that come from a town that he quickly forgot, and the players eventually were able to track down this town by the name of Kulden. Upon their arrival, they quickly realized that the residents there didn't even remember the said traveler, even though the traveler was able to give quite a bit of information on said town. And the players left off running into a Jonathan Tiller, who, from what they can tell, was somewhat suspicious. So let's bring them in and get started. Hello, everybody. We're getting started in this session. The first thing I'm seeing is Chad, so I'm mentioning Operation FWA. Wise guy that I'm referring to you. Anyway, that being said, you guys were actually in the tavern slash inn, if I'm not mistaken, when y'all met Jonathan Tiller. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. If I'm not mistaken, he just left. Like he actually is like heading back to his place for the evening.
I think so.
Yep. And Elijah, if I'm not mistaken, he is currently just prepping food, if I'm not mistaken, also getting drinks for the local patrons inside the actual bar.
I think he was preparing for the night crowd.
Yeah, pretty much.
He brought over the sandwiches and such that we were to the table where we were and went back to continuing to make things for the rest of the tavern.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, Tanithil, you are with them, just so you know.
Good to know.
So, what are y'all doing?
Tanithil has received a boon.
Hey,
Title
thanks,
of
man.
them. Oh no, one. That's
If
fine.
you
Things were
look
changed.
in the Discord chat, Tanithil, you'll find a link to a boon and bane spreadsheet where you can just roll for what your boon is out of a d20.
Okay. Then a d20 I shall roll. And with my 18, the next attack I make that hits deals max damage. Let's go.
Oh boy.
Well,
I'm a
then.
wizard. Let's do this.
Oh god, if it's a crit. Oh god.
We
So,
can
that being
only
said,
hope.
that being said, there is quite a few local residents actually inside the tavern at this point. I'd say there's roughly about 10 or 12 already, minus Jonathan, who just left. Chris is back at the is still at the farm, and so I would say, if I'm not mistaken, Saphira, Emerald, and Cricket, you guys are probably just arriving back at the town.
No, we were
Yeah, like-
already inside the tavern when Jonathan
okay.
came about.
Yeah, and we
Okay.
heard about the whole thing with Jonathan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
all were at
we
the
were
table.
all like,
I
I don't trust this insight.
Okay. So, what are you guys doing then?
Sphere is watching Eliza to see if Jonathan leaving he quickly returns to normal or stays a little bit shaken.
Upon like Jonathan even still being kind of in the room, he like automatically begins to like calm down. When Jonathan leaves, he's very back to himself, perfectly fine. He's just cleaning glasses, getting food, drinks for everybody. Actually, calls out to you guys. He's just like, as a curiosity, are y'all going to be wanting anything this evening? Or should I just be kind of tending to everybody else?
I think I'm pretty okay.
I'm fine.
What time is it currently?
It's around 6 o'clock in the evening.
I'd like a glass of wine if you have one.
I can get some. Yes. Give me 2 minutes, and like he just kind of like scurries off to go get it.
Sure.
Wine tap?
No. Why doesn't one taps out?
Whenever we do come to a good point of it, Tanathil has received a party appreciation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So that's a thing.
So what that means is, Tanathil, you go around the table and give some love to the rest of the table.
Yeah, at a
Something
down
you
one.
appreciate
Well.
things you appreciate about the characters, things you appreciate about the person. Just, share some love.
Something
Well,
in there.
we'll do that
Yeah.
in a bit for sure
When
Okay.
we come to a good spot for it.
when we come to a good spot. Elijah's only gone for a couple of minutes when he comes like bringing back Tenathil's wine. He just kind of brings it to you, and he's like, I hope you don't mind. It's made from the finest grapes that we grow in Kulden.
Well, I'll take a sip. How is it?
It's got an actually rather sweet taste to it. It's not bitter. It actually goes down pretty smooth.
Well, I asked for a glass of wine, and a glass of wine I've received.
Glad you enjoy it. How should I say? Not too many people around here ask. They usually just want ale or straight whiskey if given the opportunity, not
Dreadful.
wine. Dreadful. I agree. Man of taste. He just kind of smiles and he's like, "So, if y'all don't mind, how long are y'all planning on staying?"
At least the night.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, y'all already asked for rooms. That is correct.
Yes.
Mhm.
I've got y'all's. Then I've got a few rooms that y'all can use.
I don't know if we've paid for our.
So what are we
rooms yet.
paying for
We did
rooms?
not.
And my drink.
If I'm not mistaken, rooms were only 2 gold, and that actually came with food.
For all of us?
Alright.
No, for each room, if I'm not mistaken.
I think
Because
it
we were
was
told 5 silver.
He said
Oh,
5
5
silver
5
last
silver.
week.
Okay.
I'm sorry. 5 silver. I'm tired.
No worries.
It's been a
Numbers.
long day. Ayana,
Numbers.
or not Ayana, Fida was able to help me figure out some pricing issues I was having, and when it comes to buying and selling stuff as well. By the way, thank you, Fida, for that.
You mean
You're
like
welcome.
mean merchants that
appreciate
charge me 10 gold for a book?
We've done that.
Something like that. They were giving him a deal of like 5 copper for an egg, and that was a deal. The only thing is that they're normally 1 copper each. So he was getting a wonderful discount.
Uh-huh.
Yes, the Fida was quite helpful in that regard. Which, just saying, if y'all end up staying an extra night, I've got no issues since y'all were able to help me fix that issue. Letting y'all pass on having to pay for the next night. Y'all can stay for free for an evening.
Appreciated.
Well,
Because after all, I don't have to buy. I can buy 3 dozen eggs tomorrow and not have to worry about spending like 10 gold for them. Which, out of curiosity, where did you pay for that book of 10 gold?
yeah, that
About that,
one.
what maps have you seen?
Oh, well, we're
Hey,
all over the
hey.
place.
Yeah, he just kind of like looks back. He's like, one at a time. Real quick, I'll answer that. Out of curiosity, what town though?
Oh my god, where were we? Was that Rylock?
Creighton.
The
was
town of
last
Creighton.
time.
Graydon. Okay, yeah, we're going south.
I don't know where that. I don't think I've ever heard of that town. No. No mind. No mind. When it comes to
Not
maps,
small.
and when it comes to maps, I've got a couple, but they're not very detailed. And he kind of walks around behind the bar table and just kind of like pulls out some paperwork that he has and kind of shows it and one of the maps he has is of a region, but it's not very detailed. There's Kulden and Aston, and you can see farther west, and it's got Eastatoll and Landcrest and Aramore. But that's it, just the major cities.
Your map seems to be
Graded.
lacking.
It gets me by if I it gets me by. I can say that. Out of curiosity though, y'all said y'all were traveling south, correct?
Aye, that we are.
Ah. When y'all go, y'all got to like come back and tell me a bit about what y'all have seen, because we don't get that many stories up here.
I wonder.
But anyway,
Ugh.
I'm gonna go back and contending to the local residents and kind of make sure everyone's good. As he says, it's like he hears a patron in the far distance just going, "Oi! I'd like a glass of ale. I've been sitting here for 10 minutes." And he's like, I'll be back. And he just kind of hurries off to go tend with
How many patrons have wandered in by this point?
I'd say there's about 15 to 20 at this point.
Okay, so a decent amount have
Decent crowd.
trickled in.
Yeah.
Uh,
Kulden's a small town, don't get me wrong, but there's only so many things you can do.
Saphira's gonna walk past Vita, nudge her, motion her to come with her, and head back to the rooms.
I'm gonna go.
And in the hallway, not necessarily, not like right at the entrance, but not all the way into the rooms, just back enough that none of the loud, rambunctious people are gonna hear anything. I don't like that rock.
Neither do I. The last experience I had with a rock like that, well, you've seen the outcome.
I've dealt with a lot of things before, and I can tell you two immediate things is that stone is causing some kind of problem, and Jonathan Tiller is related to it.
I agree that he's related to it somehow. Something is up with that stone. We need to understand more.
You think? Magic? So?
Yes. Not only that,
5 years. A lot. 5 years. I wonder.
Eliza.
I wonder. Time. Weird. But city take lot time. I think. So more than 5 years.
It's possible, but
Anatil, you master history?
I've studied a fair amount of history and lived a fair amount of it, I suppose.
If no history, maybe we ask a citizen history?
See if the people around here are familiar with commonly known historical events, you mean?
Yes, historical events.
Just
I don't
parrot
think
my
they
own
will
voice
be.
back to me.
I don't
Maybe
think they will be, and
time weird.
I
Eliza.
think that's worth a shot, yes.
It would also
Eliza
seem-
and Jonathan both knew that Jonathan was last here several months ago, not 5 years ago.
Mhm.
So they remember each other, but not outsiders. I don't think they're going to remember any historical things that they may have heard about.
But map.
The
Things
map.
not exist.
I know.
This place is not on a map, and when we look at a map while we're here, the places we've been don't exist either.
I
And
remember
Mark.
when we were in Creighton, though, was it Mudrik had said that Creighton had only been around for a short period of time. It was a new town.
You say how new?
I don't remember how old, like how new, but it was newer. Kilvath was one of the founders, was one of the people who helped with the founding.
We haven't traveled that far. Creighton has buildings. Even in that amount of time, the surrounding area should know of its existence.
Agreed completely, but
But the people are forgetting about it.
the man we spoke to on the road there, he was forgetting in our faces. His story changed at least 3 times, and all of it was him telling the truth because he doesn't remember. He had traveled 6
Yes.
days, then 3 days, then 1 day. He remembered Creighton, and now and then he didn't remember Creighton. It was just, it all faded.
Side note, Tanithil has received a
It's you.
ban. On that same
That's-
table, if you scroll to the
Roll a-
right,
what,
there is a
D10?
D12.
D12.
Yep.
And I
2.
believe there's a message for you
I'm
in
affected
chat.
by the Bane's spell for the next 1d6 turns. That is an unfortunate thing outside of combat.
That is. Roll a
What is
D6?
your 1d6?
I mean,
Watch him roll a 6.
do-
I
okay.
think the ones
Are you
that are
going to
turns were meant for the
attack
next
me?
time combat starts.
Yeah.
Or if we're
I
already in
guess.
combat.
I was hoping
I'm
for it
pretty
to
sure we
dissipate
discussed
with
that
no
when putting them
effect.
together, actually. Because there's a few of them like that in the boons as well.
You could just
Yeah.
call it the next 3 rolls.
It was supposed to be like that because we have that on all the others.
We'll do the
yes, we
next 3
missed that
rolls,
one.
which could be
Well-
combat, it could be social interaction. But next
Yeah.
3 rolls, roll a
Time to
bane.
just start thinking a whole lot about history.
Right?
What was that book I read when I was a kid?
Wise guy. Oh, now Tanner's just brain farting.
just-
Like, what?
I just want to correct Fida there. It was Kulden. You kept saying Creighton. By the way, it was Kulden the guy was forgetting.
I was sure I said Colden, but okay. Yeah, it was. I know they had mentioned Creighton was a very new town, and then the dude just kept he remembered the town name and then he forgot it
Yeah, Creighton's relatively
in
new,
the middle of the
but-
conversation.
So, anyway. Now may continue. Sorry.
Well, I'm not exactly native to this area, but we could ask about other events surrounding here aside from Creighton and see if these people might know what's generally going on around them.
I'm
I think it would
curious
be better-
to look into this church, which everyone here apparently follows.
Hmm.
I like that idea. The only thing I know about the area right now is like what Garrick was saying about Aston. The war there, the raids there. Maybe they know. See if they know anything about that.
Well, last we heard, they didn't know of any towns anywhere nearby.
They know Aston.
They know Ace.
Elijah's parents left here 5 years ago to go to Aston when he was 11 years old, and they never came back. It's that same 5-year time frame.
I believe they didn't come back because they don't remember. If I feel it would be more prudent for us to investigate the source than what these people do and don't remember. We know they're not forgetting. We know they're not remembering things.
Well,
And I don't trust Tiller or that crystal.
if everyone here goes to the same church, there is the possibility we found ourselves a cult town. And those are so interesting and might kill us. Let's go.
They can try.
There was also a ruin that Jonathan was just mentioning that he had gone to see, and he left all the books and everything there, of course, the useful things. He found a bright, shiny orange gem, and he took that one and brought it back, and this was, 5 years ago.
Cursed treasure too?
Yes.
It feels like I missed one session. What's going on?
The archaeologist in you must be having a blast.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I'd like to know where it is, so to go see what else is there.
Well, he certainly
Well-
didn't give us any directions.
I feel we could directions out of him.
Well, one thing at a time, I suppose.
Kick head.
Church?
Do I kick?
Going back to what you
We
said,
know where the manor is.
to my knowledge, I don't believe I've heard of any cults of Varen.
Cult. Some
Not necessarily, but when you have a significantly large area with everyone all following one religion, you never know.
I mean, objectively,
It's a horse.
What?
what? We're looking objectively at the horse.
Cult. That's a horse.
Ah,
Oh, Colt. Colt? Baby
did
horse.
she get a bane? She punned. I get punished when I pun.
That's not a pun. I'm just
broke
saying.
my brain for a second there. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
If it wasn't even meant as a joke, but it was. I don't think she's heard your version, but we'll see. Wah!
So, to the church.
Lay it on me, wise guy.
Oh! Oh!
Wait, what?
Aaron got another bane.
Sir. I'd like to speak to your
I
manager.
was not expecting that. I was not. I was ready. I was like,
Disadvantage on my next initiative roll. My
I
next
like how
combat is gonna be
Cricket's
so
the-
weird.
I like how Cricket is the one that made the pun,
It
but
wasn't
Aaron
a
got
pun,
punished
it was
for it.
legit a statement.
Yeah.
I saw something earlier in the chat of, if only you had a better HB, am I right?
Mhm.
I never said this.
Mm.
Oh, well, to the church then.
Okay, I'll keep to myself and be a good little elf.
Were there any verbal components to Arcane Lock?
Let me see.
Yeah?
You need a verbal command to get into it.
And did Emerald tell... Oh, he did, that's right, because he passed us the password to it.
Yes. Speaking of, let me send that to Aaron real quick, so
Yep.
Aaron has that.
I remember.
I have a password.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Emerald
familiar.
put all the stuff that was in the carriage in the chest that was in the back of it, and Arcane locked it.
Alright.
Oh yeah, both Tanathel and I didn't get that one because we weren't there for it.
Oh no, he spread it to each of us, just like in idle time.
You know what?
when
I'm just gonna put this.
downtime.
I remember.
Oh, you mean the actual thing? No, I never got a message of what it was.
The
We're
password?
trying to keep the password secret from the viewers.
I do. I remember.
If I'm not mistaken,
Which is
you guys
really
are going to a
surprising
church?
for me.
Yes. Hey.
Yep, the Church of Varen.
The Church of Varen
Yes.
is not that far from the tavern. It's literally maybe a quarter of a mile from you guys. It's not far. As you're
Oh, that's right.
making, I forgot. And you okay?
Sorry, I'm just derping out.
Hey, on
Oh.
our probably about 10-minute-ish walk, can I ritual cast a spell? I'd
Sure.
like to wrist pocket my sword, just in case this is a, cult church.
Sure. Go right ahead.
Okay.
Yep, the Church of Baby
Aaron,
Horses.
you have received a point of luck for the current encounter,
Okay.
which would
With
be
another
going to the
message
church
for you.
or the church.
One more
Yeah.
point for at the church. All right.
Yep.
You're very
Wow.
hot and cold today, wise guy.
He's bipolar. Just let him have it.
While Tanathil is ritual casting wrist pocket, Saphir is going to ritually cast Speak with Animals
Okay.
by the carriage and actually speak with the horses and understand them in return for 10 minutes.
The horses at the stable?
Yes, our horses.
Okay.
Isn't the stable connected to the inn?
Can someone roll me a d20 for a Bane?
You bet. That's an 11.
A D20 or a D12 for a
D12.
Bane?
D12 for Banes.
D12. My bad.
Well,
We're
you
But I
got
mean, an
11.
11 is still on it.
Fun fact, I also rolled an 11.
You're gonna be an 11.
The
Well,
universe has spoken.
The universe
What's
says
that one?
11 is the number. I don't even
11
know what
is
that
the number. What?
shit.
Subtract your proficiency or expertise bonus on the next skill check.
Alrighty then.
You guys got a lot of Bane stacked up.
Yeah.
This looks,
I'm-
this is a fun
If I'm not
spreadsheet.
mistaken, I've got like quite a few actually now. That I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cult church. Cult church.
Yay,
As
Church
you
of Baby
guys-
Horses.
as you guys make y'all's way to the church, y'all find a rather short man just kind of tilling in the fields, wearing black clothing, black hair. That's about medium length. He's around 5'6". And as you guys are approaching, he just kind of turns to you. He's like, "Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't hear y'all walking up. My name is Father Revan. What can I do for y'all this evening?"
I suppose we're
Emerald
here
will-
to see your church, Father.
Emerald will reach behind their beard and pull out a pendant with a blue watching eye on
Yeah.
He just
it. Here to.
Kinda-
Yep. Don't even.
just kinda- sorry.
Oh, no worries. I wasn't going to explain further. He knows what it is.
It's like, nice to see a religious man to a certain extent. Yes, no problem. I have no issues showing you my church. Come in. And as he kind of like leads the way, the church itself is rather medium sized, made of stone with a roof tiling on top that is of a rich red color. As you guys go in, to the left is completely open, but on the right hand side there's a door. It doesn't look to be a very big room, maybe about 10 feet in width and length. But past that, there's a bunch of pews that lead up to where there's an altar. On this altar, you can see a couple of candles and a book that has been opened. That's actually been left open. To the left-hand side, you can see a staircase that kind of like spirals up. That does spiral up. And then off to the right-hand side, you see a hallway. And you see just down that hallway, just a little bit, you can see a door to the right-hand side that leads just right back outside. Yeah, he goes, where would y'all like to talk? Would y'all like to talk out here? Or would y'all like to go to my office? Can
Entirely
I?
up to you, Father.
We can talk out here. No issues there. Would y'all like anything? Got some water upstairs I can bring down for y'all. Bread, if y'all are hungry. I don't know if y'all have anything to eat that I can give.
Cricket just is when she enters, like just is looking around, and just walks past and goes all the way to the altar and just looking around while he's talking. She's just in the
We
background doing
just
stuff.
came from the inn. We ate there before coming.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
The also I just want to let you know that cricket, like as you're kind of like looking around, the windows are stained glass, and on the roof there's etchings of Varen himself, or at least depictions of him. On the walls, there's also like pictures as well. The actual church itself smells of burning wax from the candles. Uh, well, then, if y'all are staying at the end, if y'all don't need anything, okay. But like I said, if y'all do need anything, just in the end, just let me know. But y'all have come here for a purpose, or at least you were destined to a certain degree. What may I do for you?
We're travelers. We heard that everyone in your town worships at this church and found that unique and impressive. We were hoping to learn more about your church.
Well, we don't actually get many travelers in this town. I think it's been quite a few years, actually, now that I think about it.
How many years do you think?
Oh, 3 to 5, maybe?
That's some time.
Yeah, in all honesty, I don't know why we don't get visitors here. It's rather strange, but hey, I have no issues talking about our church. As I said, we're followers of Varen himself. He, as you know, he's the one that perceives all. He essentially provides our destiny for us. He has it laid out. Uh, when it comes to Ashland, though, that's a rather common religion. I mean, after all, we are descendants of the ancient civilization of Aramore, so makes sense. He can find. He kind of like wanders off and grabs the book off the altar and kind of like brings it back. He's like, "It's detailed all in here," and he just kind of like shows you the book. It's filled with text, and essentially what he's saying is coming straight from the book itself. Uh, what specifically are y'all wanting to know about it, though? Like, how often do people come here? What do they expect? Um, what do they? What do we live by? What's our code? You know,
You master of history?
in a way, yes.
Historical events. Oh, Teneto, go.
Um, I I think we're wondering what you know about the history of the areas surrounding your village. Important events that might have happened in the last few years near you, but not in town.
I'll be honest. When it comes to my knowledge of the surrounding area, it's not very. How should I say? I my knowledge of the surrounding area, I don't have quite a bit of it. Uh, Aston, though, is the only real place I know of, and I know that there's quite a bit of raiding that occurs there from apparently the kingdom that's across the way, and even that's somewhat fuzzy to a certain extent to remember. Uh, I know that Aston struggles though when it comes to raids. they're hit rather regularly, if not once, but twice a week. It feels like that's at
Is that
least what I remember.
Two Trail? Is that a more recent thing, Aston being raided, or has that been going on for quite a while?
That's been going on for quite a while. Roll a history check
Yay!
for that. Roll a history check
With Bane.
Yes,
with
You got
Bane.
luck.
1d4.
You have
two.
luck.
So I'm not using my luck point on my history roll. And I've got a 13 then.
That's fine. Yeah, you know that when it comes to Aston, it gets raided quite regularly from the Culden Kingdom.
Okay.
It's at this point, it's hanging on being a successful city by a thread. At least that's what you remember.
Well, Easton is a significant established city. Do you know any other settlements nearby?
I think Isatol is nearby. I think maybe a few days away. Landcrest is also pretty close, but I think it's about a week. And then Aramore itself, which is to the northwest, which is the original city, by the way. Any kind of like points to the book. He's like, the book talks about that. That's about a week and a half.
The original city. How long has Aramore been around?
I mean, Aramore's been around since before Ashland. It's known by many as the city beneath the arches.
St. Louis.
Say that again. You just kind of what?
Sorry. I guess personally, could I confirm that Aramore's like really, really old?
Roll a history check.
Just gonna keep doing this and do even worse. Okay, I'll luck point this one. This seems more significant. No, God, never mind. So my first one was a 10, my second one would be a 6, so I guess I have a 6 because luck points actually replace it, don't they?
You think he's pretty sure. You think he's pretty accurate. You can't be certain. You don't remember.
Okay.
Not all that well. Does somebody want to help Tanithil out?
Anybody
Well,
else know history?
I may not be super trained in history, but I have some knowledge of it. I've traveled.
As an archaeologist, you better be
Yeah,
proficient.
I will try. Let me see just what I have for boons here.
Be an archaeologist with only acrobatics proficiency. Go Indiana Jones.
That'd be hilarious.
Hey, if I can do that, I totally will.
Well, yeah, but you'd be a bad archaeologist. He ruins every historical site he goes through.
I nat 20 that.
He's telling the truth, 100%. Like he's actually like he's telling the truth. He's got all his facts in a row. He's hitting everything. He just kind of Father Revan kind of keeps going.
What he's saying
He's
does match what I've learned.
The Resident of Iron is actually rather common though, like I was saying though. I mean the Darrington not Darrington. Yeah, Darrington. Darenton. Yeah,
Okay.
Darrington.
You spelled that way too fast.
Sorry, Darenton.
I'm just gonna make letters up there.
Cricket's like I'm writing that down because I've been
I
getting
got
all the
you.
other ones
I
misspelled.
got you.
Yeah, letters.
That was a lot of letters that came out of you, but I'm just gonna make up the answer anyway.
That's pretty
I
much
have
how it
no
is when
idea
people
how I
spell
kept track
their
of
names
them.
really fast. The letters they're too fast for me.
Welcome to D&D. Regardless of how you name your town, we're gonna rename it.
Right?
Yep.
But no, the Darrington family is even practices that they actually in Landcrest they kind of try to make sure it's the primary religion there from what I kind of recall to a certain extent. I know that if you want to know any more about that particular film, I do have some info.
Well, knowledge never hurt anyone, except the people that die with too much knowledge.
When it comes to the Darrington family, they're known for their uh, red hair and icy blue eyes. When it comes to that, it's been part of their lineage for years, for decades actually.
Inbreeding.
Inbreeding.
Oh no. I gave Cricket a new word.
This will only be weaponized. Don't worry.
Learned new term from Tanathil. Inbreeding.
Said in
I
Tanithil's
write
voice.
things in my notes. Yep.
In his voice, yep.
Perfect.
Can't even keep it a secret if I'm the one that teaches her a bad word.
Right.
Nope.
This is why I choose key phrases that are going to be real useful.
Huh?
But is there anything else that I can help y'all with?
I was actually curious more about the Tilla family.
The Tiller family.
I know
If
they
I'm
are
not mistaken-
prominent here. They were founders or something?
Yes. They have one of the largest grapevine farms here in Kulden. They're one of the founding families. Actually, they're the ones that basically first settled here, and well, everyone kind of followed suit. That was about 10 years ago. Their son Jonathan, if I'm not mistaken, though, he leaves occasionally and comes back to the town quite often. He goes on expeditions, apparently.
When was the last one?
A few months ago.
A few
Any
months
idea
ago.
how long he was gone?
A few days, maybe about 5 at most. He doesn't travel very far. Let's be honest, he's a bit of an amateur when it comes to exploring.
Did you
He's
find something?
and that one, not that I'm aware of. He brags about some of his expeditions, I will admit. He's a good lad for the most part. Probably goes places he shouldn't. And in all honesty, when you go to a site, you probably shouldn't take everything that you see, but he does take some stuff that could be questionable.
Like what?
Any?
I mean, when it comes to some of the stuff, he's gotten shields from coffins of fallen knights of high, highly recognized organizations that have long been gone. He also will come back with books of ancient knowledge, amulets, stones.
Stones? Just
Any
stones?
idea if he's ever traveled as far as
Oh.
Easton?
He's definitely traveled as far as Easton. When it comes to the Ashland Kingdom, he's definitely explored this particular area. Yeah, when it comes to stones, I remember one. It was about 5 years ago. It was a orange-ish stone, in shape of almost like kind of like a small ball of fire. He said it was rather valuable. He said it's acted almost as he mentioned it. He's like it's a conduit of some sort.
Do you know where that stone ended up? That sounds interesting.
Where a lot of the stuff that he gets, he takes it to his parents' mansion, which his parents, they actually haven't been back here in 6 years, 6, 7 years. They still keep an eye on things, but they usually leave his son to run the farm
Wait.
there.
So they're not in town here?
Not to his family. No,
Hmm.
his parents are in Landcrest, from what I remember.
Okay. Do you have any idea where any of the sites that he finds these things are?
He
Does
doesn't
he ever
ever
tell
give.
you?
He never gives like specific, uh, how should I say, directions or locations on these sites. I know that when it came to some of them, they were maybe a day, maybe two at the most away.
Hmm.
When he would come back with stuff, I know for a fact the one that when it came to the stone, he was only gone for 3 days at most.
Does anyone in town fear him?
I would say fear. Uh, he's a rather confident, egocentric. I would say, and it just puts some people off guard. They don't know how to respond. They have difficulties talking to him, but no one fears him. Uh, like I said, he's not like he's a bad person. He's multiple times has mentioned wishing to expand upon the town. Hopefully, one day, uh, make it uh, a luxurious place to come to. He's never, how should I say, tried to do it yet, but he's talked about it. I know multiple times when it comes to businesses, he's helped others out.
How is the priest's voice sound, body language?
Insight check.
Okey-doke.
Is there anything really shiny in the church?
I mean, yeah, there's bowls and cups of silver.
14.
That's kind of round, but it's not many. Uh, his calm, rather meticulous. He's being, I wouldn't say careful on what he's saying. He's just wanting to make sure he gets it right when it comes to his talking. But he's very relaxed. He's not any sort of anxious. So from what you can tell, he's being honest and upfront, telling the truth.
Emerald is also paying close attention to the priest.
Okay. Same thing.
Well,
He's,
did you want me to roll for that as well?
if you want to. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity. That's a lot. 25.
Yeah, it's exact same thing to Saphira. Very calm. He's being honest, just making sure to what he's thinking is accurate.
Given
In the-
that
In
has
the background?
received 5 boons.
What the
And
fuck?
Cricket must be protected at all costs.
That's kind of appropriate with what's about to happen because in the background you just hear light little clanks when she's taking the silver plate and the cups and clanging them together and then listening to it and then mimicking it.
Father
no.
Reverend is
Ding, ding.
Father
Ding,
Reverend
ding,
is just kind of like looking off towards Cricket, going, I don't think she's gonna break anything.
No break it metal.
I hope not. It'd be rather
What's
slightly
this?
disheartening, but it'd be okay.
Watch this. She turns around and she comes back and the plate's laying and there's a cup over it. And she lifts the cup and the baby chicken is underneath and she's holding the baby chicken. It's a baby chicken! Look at it! It's so fluffy.
I don't remember the Kanku laying an egg.
She didn't. She was
It
given
was
the bird.
a gift by one of the
Were
farmers.
you traded for the pig?
Which farmer?
Chris,
Oh, Chris. Oh, you traded him for a pig.
It was not an equal trade, but she likes the bird.
Qu-
equal, not equal.
y'all had a pig when y'all came in?
Cricket
Yes.
was given Pagan to hold on to and didn't want to leave Pagan. So Chris traded the chick for taken back.
I didn't realize he named another pig Pagan. Good to know.
Is this common?
There's been 3 or 4 different Pagans. It's kind of a tradition, I think, at this point, from what I can tell. Anyway,
It's glaring at Tadathil walks up. Equal.
Sorry. Okay.
Equal.
I just she can play with the chicken, with the plate. It's okay. It's not like she's gonna hurt it. But yes, is there anything else? Any other questions? I'm sorry if I'm not much help. I try to be.
I'd say you've been quite helpful, Father. Thank you.
But I'll be here tomorrow if y'all are still in town.
I do believe we will be.
Good. If there's anything else, just let me know. I'm just gonna get my sermon ready for next week. And you just kind of
Like to roll the boons.
leaves to kind of work on the sermon a little bit.
Well, shall we pay a certain mansion a visit?
How
I
late is
didn't
it?
get my cult church.
So cursed treasure it
So
is then.
so disappointed. He's like, I wanted a cult church.
So you don't think the religion has anything to do with this?
It seems like it's all coming from this stone. That the
Or at
religion may just be
least-
this is a small community that have all fallen in together there.
Or at least something they've brought back from this cave. The stone could be a stone. We don't know what all they brought back.
Stone
Either
could be
way,
any number of
It
things.
should be worth looking into.
I'm curious about this conduit thing.
Yes, I'd like to investigate many of these treasures that we're hearing about.
Mm-hmm.
They did
And
seem
they're
very
coming from so
guarded
close.
about their treasure.
Did we leave the church?
Well, we're currently in the church, but I'm proposing
Oh.
we leave and go to the mansion.
I agree.
I'll roll the boons for a second. She's gonna go to the priest really quick. Question.
Yes.
Do you know Lady Avina?
Not right offhand. Should I?
Thank you. And leaves. She just walks out.
All right.
Man is so confused.
Yes. I take it y'all go to the mansion, though?
Before we leave, Emerald will take a minute and say a prayer to Varen.
Okay.
And then get up. And I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. Y'all make y'all's way to the actual mansion, which is not the same distance as was the church from Tavern. As if I'm not mistaken, I mentioned previously, it's kind of like on a hill. My southern accent came out just then. I apologize.
No,
Hill. As you'll kind of get closer, you'll notice that there's a stone wall, probably about 3 feet tall at most, that is kind of onto the side a little bit. And it's about, I'd say, 100 feet wide, and about 100, kind of goes 100 feet long, and just kind of connects to a certain extent to the mansion. As you guys make y'all's way, as y'all make y'all's way up there, letting y'all know, I do have a map for you guys in roll 20.
Ooh.
And to the viewers, we will eventually have maps for you guys to look at as well.
It is in development.
In
Bear with
development.
us while we get things up and running.
Yes.
That being said, all I can see is a black screen.
What?
Same.
Oh,
Yeah, we
yeah,
have
that's
the-
right.
Dynamic lighting stuff.
Yeah.
We're in the
Okay, so-
dark! Ah!
Where
Those of us that are here
is...
should be able to see.
Even my dark vision can't see through this.
I remember now what's going on. Okay. Easy fix. Here's how we're going to fix this.
Delete it all.
You are going to... You're going to be a different token this week there. Otter. Just letting you know. Okay. Can you see now?
Nope.
What?
Still a black square.
Go down to
Well-
the bottom, make sure you're in the right area, because most of it should be black.
I
Yeah.
am zoomed all the way out. The entire square is black.
Alright, well.
Okay, can everybody else see?
I've been alright.
I'm gonna refresh the page.
Refresh the page, because you should be able to see.
Don't be giving away spoilers there, Juju.
But Ayana, you can see.
Thank you, wise guy.
Hey, I
Ayana.
got one.
Nice.
Ayana.
For the sake of sanity, this mic, I have a pure black screen. I have refreshed the page.
I'm also on a pure black screen and have
Alrighty then. Well then, when in doubt,
Theater of the Mind.
not theater of the mind. God said, "Let there be light."
Aha!
I mean, that
Well,
works too.
I can
that
now
works
see.
too.
Hey, we have tokens on the map and everything.
I know. Like,
Couldn't see those either.
Yeah, I
which
know.
one am I supposed to be? Because you said I'm getting a
This
different
one.
one.
yeah, this
That
one.
one?
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So as y'all approach, there is a stone stairs, kind of like leading up. There's only about 4 or 5 steps altogether, with a door at the front that's actually rather large for its size. It's about 10 feet in height, and each it's a dual door. So there's about 3 feet in width on either end, and it opens up to be about 6 feet in width altogether. The walls to the actual mansion are stone as well. There's no windows to y'all's left or coming up to it, but to the right you can see past the stone 3-foot wall, or 3-foot wall fixture that's kind of like I was saying, about 100 feet long and and then connects back up to the mansion. You can see over it and past it, you can see a fountain with what appears to be another set of doors over there. As y'all are also walking up, you don't see anybody outside. It is roughly around 7:30, 8 o'clock at this point. It's getting rather late. Or at least early late. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Whoever just put that there.
You're welcome.
On the outside, there is a couple of torches lit up that are on the walls on either side of the doorway. Just so y'all know. But I take it one of y'all just kind of like walks up and knocks on the door.
Yeah, I'll knock.
Zafir is standing behind the group, just kind of in line with where the doors meet.
as you guys kind of come up and knock on the door, a voice, I wouldn't say comes booming from the door itself, but it does filter out through, and it just kind of goes, uh, "Are y'all expected company or passerbys?"
I suppose, given those options, we would count as passersby.
Well, then, if that is the case, and you just keep hearing this voice coming from this door, it just goes, either the passcode or the phrase that the master has given for y'all to enter, or another day, and it just kind of dissipates.
So, this door doesn't seem to be very receptive.
Cricket's gonna knock on it. What
It-
are you made of?
It literally repeats the same dialogue just previously with Tanithil. Are you expected company passerbys?
Expected pass by.
It just follows up. Then provide the phrase, and you may enter.
Grapes.
No response.
Severe was
Turn
wandering
around.
over
Will a
to that
window work?
wall.
Have we knocked on window?
Well, for someone that can afford a magical door, knocking on a window might be unwise.
Windows. Doors you see through.
Yes, maybe. But they could be doors that explode.
What?
Doors, windows,
Ah.
10 open.
Magic. Traps.
Traps.
Security.
Oh,
We have
Hey,
a
wait.
door that is telling us to go away. Exploding windows are not out of the question.
then
Um,
at dawn we return.
Why dawn?
Sun. Then why?
Were these windows, Trail?
Why not done?
Look. Yeah, those are windows.
Okay. Saphira is wandering over to the front of the garden, roughly around the corner of it.
You can
and
see
seeing
just
if
kind
she
of
can
like,
see anything.
yeah, and like what you can see inside is that the lights inside, although there are torches lit inside, they're very dim for the most part. You don't see any shadows or anything moving about. But you are also looking at the first story. There is a second.
Any windows within sight that are giving off much light?
I would say that you kind of like circle around the mansion at this point then.
No, just from where she is.
Yeah, like the lights inside, like I was saying, that like they are dim, but you can still see a pretty decent amount inside.
I mean, if there are any other windows that are more lit from
On
her
this,
immediate location.
no, not from your immediate location.
Cricket's going to take out some paper and some ink and start writing a note. Greetings. This note is from the newcomers that were in the tavern. We wish to speak to you. What else should I write? This good? We wish to speak to you and hope you are doing well. We also like grapes. The end. And then she slips that and puts a rock so it's like doop.
Theoretically, what if we were expected? There was
Are you asking me as a DM or as the door?
the door is what talked to us, not a person.
Right.
Yes.
A door. Well, people can be reasoned with, but reasoning with a door is like talking to a brick wall.
I mean, the door was
Brick
locked.
walls don't burn, though.
Yes, but
I mean, you can clearly see that there is a lock fixture on the door itself, so it's not like you couldn't try to pick it.
What if the door was just not locked?
do we want to start with breaking and entering? Questions seemed more useful.
I think we should be more prepared before we break into this fortress. Potential fortress.
Fortress. I mean, it's a mansion.
It's a building.
Mansion.
We don't know what's in there.
True.
Fortress.
I've seen very few of your buildings so far, and every single one has been very different.
Lived in a forest forever.
As long as I can remember.
You can't have lived in a forest forever.
Why not?
Because you're here now.
Well, yes, there is that.
Well, that's true.
But I suppose most people are drawn to civilization, but you don't have to?
Never seemed necessary before.
Are you still over by the windows there?
No,
Saphira?
she's wandered back at this point.
Okay.
Well, it seems our options are to get an invitation or attempt to break in, and the latter may be quite unwise.
Is there anyone that we can ask about how to, say, gain an audience with someone who is locked inside a building with a magic door?
Is anybody, by the way, standing near a window?
Doesn't look like it.
No,
Okay, just want to make
we're
sure.
all back at the door now. Saphira's going to... You know, we could just try this. Boom! Boom! Boom!
Roll a strike check.
Oh.
Breaking and entering it is.
That's a 19 plus 23.
The door.
Like, as he does this, the door just goes, expected or passerbys?
Expected.
I'll let Mr. Jonathan Tiller know that you are here. And like, as like he says
Yeah,
this.
Yay!
The expected people would
Not
be the
what
ones
she
that are given a
expected to work, but
password,
okay.
and the passersby need to be let know that we are here. But
It
that's
worked,
just
we'll
how I
see
would
what
design a magic
happens.
door. Maybe in Lylanor we do it better.
I'll be completely honest. I just wanted to see Saphira's reaction. Just Really?
Knock really
As-
loud. See what happens.
As he like as the door says that, though, you all of a sudden start hearing footsteps kind of approaching the door, and the door kind of just as it opens, you see Jonathan Tiller just kind of like standing there, just like, I wasn't expecting y'all. I wasn't expecting anyone. Hi. Y'all were the ones at the tavern, if I'm not mistaken, correct? Elijah's?
That we were.
I would like them to make a. Where is it? Wisdom saving throw. I'd like to cast suggestion.
Ah.
Not where my brain went, I'm gonna be honest. I was
Welcome
like,
to
oh,
my
I guess
house.
we're starting
Bang.
this.
I
And
would
then you
like them
said
to make a
suggestion, and I
dexterity
was like,
saving
oh, wait.
throw.
Uh-huh.
He's not making it.
Okay.
My brain immediately went to whole person.
You invited us over. Don't you remember?
Oh, yes, that's right. Was it over drinks?
From the bar, yes.
I mean, that's... Yes, come on in, come on in. And he just kind of shows you in. As you guys kind of enter
Richard picks
this
up the note and just
mansion.
stuffs it away.
There's kind of a elongated room that kind of like passes by to another door, and as he kind of like shows y'all in, the door just kind of opens up, and as you enter, you see two rather large plants just kind of like inside the next room. On either side, there's suits of armor, 4 to be exact total. Just past that, on these two walls to the left, there's a what appears to be a seating couch for people to come in. To the right, there's a what appears to be an elongated room with multiple chairs and small tables for people to kind of like sit down and possibly drink at. It's more of a greeting room, you should say. Just past that, there's a spiraling staircase that kind of like goes up to the second floor, and then on the far end, you can see what appears to be a another door that leads to another room.
Saphira is paying attention to him, but also paying very close attention to the layout in here and what is around them in each room.
The floor itself is of a sandstone-ish tile. The walls themselves, as mentioned before, is stone. The roof is painted with different what appears to be historical figures of Ashland. It looks like, or just of people. But as he just kind of brings y'all in, it's like, yes. I'm not quite sure exactly what I wanted y'all to come and talk about. What exactly was supposed to be our nature of our conversation, and for y'all's invitation to come?
You were telling us about all the interesting items that you had been finding.
Out of curiosity, how long does suggestion last?
8 hours with concentration.
It's not everything he says. He makes the
No.
one suggestion.
The
it's the
initial
one suggestion.
suggestion of you were expecting us is the spell, so for 8 hours
And then
he
it's
will
done.
believe he invited us over. This would just be me deceiving,
Okay. Roll a
which I
deception.
will roll for,
Yeah.
Also, I thought suggested was not concentration.
Suggestion is absolutely concentration up to 8 hours.
That's a long
Huh.
concentration.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
That is a 22.
22.
Yes.
He just
didn't-
kind of...
You didn't want to discuss around other people some of the items you had found, but you invited us over to discuss some of the weird items you came across.
You must have been talking about some items yourself that you must have found, because I don't usually divulge, at least often, uh, trinkets and artifacts that I've found in over time.
Some drink was happening. Does loosen the tongue a bit, but we are now in private company, so
Well,
no one would be the wiser.
Out of curiosity, what trinkets are you interested in knowing? I mean, everything you see, I mean, minus the plants and chairs and salt. I need to get those from any sort of dig site or cave system or ancient ruins. The armors, though, and he just kind of points to each. He's like, "Those I did. Those I was able to. How should I say? Found those in a long lost tomb near the Temple of Magnus. About a year ago, actually. At this
Well, I am not personally of super magically inclined, but you were getting along very well with Tanathil discussing these items. They might have more questions than I would to bring to the table. And Fida here is an archaeologist. She might be able to help as well.
just kind of turns to Tanathil and feet, and it's like, which artifacts are y'all interested in? I mean, I've got dozens. I've got amulets, shields, swords. I will admit, there's some that I probably shouldn't have. I will say this. The amulets, though, are of a rather, how should I say, of an interesting nature. I found one of them in an ancient ruin of Freya's, near possibly maybe how should I say, a doorway to the Feywild. One of these ancient ruins. It has a rather interesting effect on the wearer. Essentially, if they're near death, it keeps them stable, keeps them alive.
I hope you didn't find that out the hard way.
No, I didn't. I had a. When it comes to my family, I occasionally go and find a mage or a wizard, sorcerer, that can help with enchantments of sort around the house or identify things I may have found. Or when I go on expeditions, I bring one along. That's actually how he points to the doors. Like that's how I got a decent system to keep things locked.
Certainly makes sense.
Have you got any? If I'm not mistaken, boon Otter, you got yourself a boon from Mr. Wise Guy.
I do. The next attack I make.
When it
The
comes
next attack
to,
that hits does damage.
out of curiosity though, is there any artifacts or trinkets that y'all have gotten in y'all's travels?
Well, certainly not anything as fantastic as some of the things you're mentioning. I have a handful of trinkets with me here. My hat and my staff with eggs actively orbiting it. So I like to collect some items with some interesting quirks.
You must not be entirely from Ashelon, are you?
No, I'm from Lylanor Republic.
Ah, so you're actually from the
Elf,
Ashelon.
of course.
Yes. If I'm not mistaken, those cities there, not only do they dwarf the ones that we have here, but they're elaborate, if I'm not mistaken. And both size, architecture, their designs,
Yes.
What's your opinion on between the cities of Ashland to the cities of Lylanor?
I'm a traveler by nature, and I don't like to compare all of the different places I've been to. I like to experience each area for its own merits rather than based on my other travels.
I understand.
Your architecture shows your own culture. Ours shows ours.
I can understand that. Yeah, what about you then, Miss Vida? If I'm not mistaken, you're a tiefling,
You would be
so
correct.
possibly from the Azure dynasty.
I am from the Ajazar dynasty.
Y'all, if I'm not mistaken, y'all, majority of y'all cities run along the river that goes through that particular region, correct?
Yes, it is outside of around the river. It is fairly dry and quite a bit of desert otherwise.
Barren, from
So
what I've heard.
growing food and importing food and bringing in water is difficult at best. So for convenience, the cities are along the river.
Out of curiosity, what is your opinion, at least of our kingdom so far, since you're an outsider looking in?
I've not seen much of the kingdom yet. I look forward to seeing more. So far, I like the kingdom, and I want to see more. I've not had much of an opportunity to leave the Ajazar dynasty, so this is more of a first outing outside of there.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, what did you do while you were there? Because it looks to me that Tenetho, you were a student.
As
Yes.
Emerald here has said, I, along with my family, are archaeologists. We find different ruins, temples, and we search. We go through them, discover what knowledge is held within.
I must know then what break. Out of curiosity, then, what are some artifacts or trinkets that you may have found in your travels?
My family and I were always had a keen interest in books that were found. We found all sorts of coins, jewels, gems, amulets.
Books. And he kind of gets up and walks off real quick. He'll be right back with that. And he just kind of wanders off, seeing him go upstairs and go left as soon as he gets to the top. He's gone for quite a few minutes. You can hear some shuffling upstairs. Eventually, he kind of comes back and he brings a book. And he's like, out of curiosity, do you find different spirits and gods rather fascinating?
For what I've learned from them so far, yes. I'm always interested in learning more. I've
He
been through some of the temples of like Magnus, Aurora.
He just kind of like drops this book. It's about that thick. It's probably a good 1,000 pages. Stretch.
Oh, that made me lightheaded.
Oh, my shoulder popped.
We are stiff.
I slept on a cot, so
That would do it.
He just goes. This actually has quite a bit of detailed history when it comes to all the gods, for the most part, of the Ashland Kingdom. There's
Interesting.
12, to be precise. There's a few spirits in here as well. It's like I found this when I was traversing through an ancient temple of Magnus. Not the actual temple itself, but just an ancient ruin.
Interesting. I'm gonna pick up the book and I'm gonna take a look at it.
It's
See what I can find in it.
It's a very detailed history. Like it
I'm
talks
gonna
about
flip
theory.
through quickly about like just kind of research just to get like a general sense of like the depth of information on all of the odds here.
Yeah. Just quickly, it's got a detailed history of quite a few of the gods and theories about possibly events that they may have took part in, and spirits that are either descendants of theirs or descendants, like basically a child of their child's. You know what I'm saying? Shiva is actually mentioned at one point. It's very brief from what you quickly find. Morgana actually has a almost an entire chapter to herself.
I'm surprised I am not.
He's like, it's a rather interesting book, in all honesty, when I got to read it.
It seems fascinating. I've
Yes.
come across some
Uh,
relics of some of these, so. And where did you said you found this in the Temple of Magnus?
And in ancient ruin, not the Temple of Magnus itself. When it comes to that temple, usually you have to provide a worthy addition to enter.
Explain.
It's a temple of knowledge. They don't want just anyone coming in and not providing. If you're going to take something, you must provide. You must give. It's
So
a
what did you
cost.
trade?
I've only been there once, and I gave up a tablet. It had from what I can tell, a rather interesting transcript on it. I wasn't actually able to read it, but they were, and they were very quick to take it off my hands. I asked them what was actually on it. They refused to actually tell me. They said it was worthy to enter with. So I went in and I got to. They usually, when you go in and you actually ask for some scrolls or books regarding things, they allow you to take, for the most part, or at least not take, but look at quite a few things. But they allowed me to spend as much time as I wanted, which was rather rare. I guess whatever I showed them was quite worth it. But yes, but that's just one of the things that it kind of like reaches for the book and kind of pulls it back. It's like, that's one of the things I've got. I've got other things, like I was mentioning. Is there anything in particular you would like to know of my travels?
I've just been kind of letting the conversation happen while keeping an eye on him to see what he's trying to obfuscate around, if he's got any weird body language while he's talking about any of these artifacts.
When it comes to talking about the artifacts, you can tell he's taking a moment to just, how should I say, pick and choose exactly what he's saying.
Sure. You don't want me to roll for any of these? Just that's something I've picked up?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not very good. He's not...
Passive insight is an 18.
Yeah, I was going to say, your passive insight is 18, but also he's not a very charismatic person. Confident, egotistical, not charismatic.
Now, in one of my last digs that I was on, I found these bracers, the ones that I'm wearing now.
Yes.
There's not really much with them, but I do think they are quite beautiful, so I keep them around.
They look like specific colors of a spirit, if you don't mind me saying.
I don't know. I don't know it now.
Yeah, have a look at them.
You can look at them. So I'm going to hold up my arms. I'm going to just show them.
He's kind of like reach for them.
Cricket has received a boon.
Gibbon's gotten a boon?
Mm-hmm.
Aw, Gibbon's got a boon. He just kind of like reaches for the bracers. And he's just kind of turning them and everything. It's like possible Shivas, maybe? Did you get these in a temple?
They were found in a pile of debris in a room. There was like some broken urns, some paintings. It was not really anything very interesting in that room. One of the other rooms had like an interesting statue in it, but of it, like an animal, or I can't remember what they all were. There were 3 of them, but I'm not really sure.
And Honestly, they're quite nice finds, I would say. But in all honesty,
You
I,
mentioned
I
something that you had found that was interesting in one of your digs a few years ago. You mentioned that you'd found when we were talking in the tavern that you found something. It was a rock. It was orange.
roll deception.
What am I deceiving on that one? Because he mentioned that.
He did.
And
Yeah.
you did at the
Oh.
table. He
I never noticed that.
1000% mentioned that.
Okay.
Back in the
I
tavern.
was about to say. I don't remember him talking about that. This is why I should probably think.
That's why we were talking about it in the tavern.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's that take. That was about 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
I did my job. I got us in the door.
That's about 5 years ago. What exactly would you like to know about that one?
I'm curious about the dig itself and the actual stone. I was wondering if you could, if we could see it, not touch it clearly, but actually take a look at it and learn about tell us about where, what this site was that you were exploring.
So I'll be honest, it wasn't necessarily a dig. I mean, we dug out part of that cave system, but the stone itself I found kind of, how should I say, I was able to acquire it from a certain individual that we should say most people would not care to come across. And they're pretty good, I would say. When it comes to showing, I don't really like to show people much of my stuff. Let's be honest.
Showed you my bracers.
And I showed you my book.
Yes, but the book is nowhere near the same.
Ancient Ruins from Magnus, the book itself that comes from there. It's pretty valuable, I would say.
Perhaps I'll regale you with the tale of the stone that we found in that temple. Because this was by far not the most interesting item.
Possibly.
I'd like to see that stone.
Very persistent.
Very curious.
Are there any signs in any of the rooms we've seen of anyone else living here?
Roll. What's your passive perception?
Passive is 15.
From what you can tell, it looks to be as if only he lives there. A lot of the stuff is unmoved. You can tell that someone has been coming in and wiping stuff down. At least that, because it's not dusty. It's not like it's been sitting there that's collected dust. The traffic in and out of the house, there's only appears to be one set of footprints, which is his, of the mud that's on his his shoes and everything from being outside. But he kind of tilts his head and just kind of looks at feet, and he's just like,
my curiosity is as an equal, as a fellow archaeologist.
If I knew you better, I possibly would let you. But, alas, I don't. I have no issues talking about it, though.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the actual site, it was a cave system. The area of which I was able to acquire it was rather interesting. It was this rather, how should I say, kind of like a brazier. I said that right this time.
Yes, you did.
I'm literally
just waiting for it.
I said
It happened in the next game on Friday.
Oh,
There were no bras in this sentence.
they do.
Right? Braziers.
Listen. Brazier.
Brazier.
I still have that picture in my head of Friday.
But no, there was a brazier in this room with shelves of vials of interesting ingredients when I went in there. And the individual I talked to, she, how should I say, was rather peculiar. She wanted to keep making a deal, and for once I was able to outsmart it.
Oh,
It was rather nice for a change. But
did you make a deal with her at all?
no, not necessarily. I just said I get to take an item of my choosing. And she said she got to take an item of hers. The deal that was made, let's just say, to a certain extent, it was a battle of wits. But in the end, she wasn't entirely happy with how things turned out. So,
Describe her.
black hair, old. Oh, she was old. You would almost
was
think she was
old?
90.
Oh,
Yeah. Old,
was
black
she-
hair.
From you.
Her hands, like I was saying, like her hands were just kind of like almost like a claw, like to a certain extent. But I found her in this cave system, and I will admit I went to take the stone, and she says, no." At first, she was very adamant. I said, "How about this? I like it," and I offered a deal, and it was basically just to a certain extent a battle of wits. Whoever outsmarted the other got what they wanted. I actually offered, honestly, my soul, but the odds that I would have made that offer if I didn't think I'd win.
And what did she get out of your wager if you walked away with an item?
I walked away with the particular item that I was choosing, and if I lost, she got my soul. Basically, I would end up a servant of hers. But I wouldn't make a deal that I could not win, or at least a wager.
So you won,
Five.
and you earned the stone. I'm curious. Have you had that particular item identified?
I did. It was called a heartstone. At least that's what I have been told it's called. By the way, 5 boons to Ayana.
Or grave robbing?
But no, it was a heartstone. From what I was told, it was a conduit. It acted a way to go to the ethereal plane for some.
I want
Emerald
to
Hearts
insight
did
that, because that doesn't match up.
Roll insight.
And subtract 1d4. Alright, 19.
He's telling the truth.
Alright, well, stone is not doing this then? At least according to the information he knows. Okay.
Is there any way I'd be able to see this stone?
Like I mentioned to your friend, in all honesty, I don't let many people see items that I have. I'm rather picky and picky when it comes to what I like to show people.
Sure. How about I show you a feat of a magical item in return?
A what?
A
Cut out
feat
there, Otter.
produced by a magical item in return.
Roll persuasion. With
You go.
advantage.
I already have it from a boon, but thank you. And thank goodness for that advantage, because one of those was a 2.
Oh,
The other one is a 15 plus 7, so 23?
22.
I'll do that
22.
if Fida show. You mentioned something about a stone, correct? From one of your dig sites.
I did find a rock of some sort.
I'd be willing to show y'all if I get to see both those.
Oh, I don't have it with me.
The rock, I believe, no longer exists. It was shattered for one reason or another. But my offer still stands. And
I am
Emerald
really-
will reach behind them, palm a skull, and put it on the table in front of us.
Ricky gets really excited and sits down and her knees up just like the last time.
I have one of those myself.
Well, the hope is we all do.
But
But
I'll be honest, I would really like, and I would have liked to have seen Fetus Stone as well.
That was not what was
Indians
agreed.
do this. And Emerald will just reach a hand out and grab the top of the skull, and all of you will see a dark greenish energy start pouring up off the skull. And I would like to use one of my bardic inspirations to do a tale from beyond.
If I'm not mistaken, that's just you tell a story, correct?
The skull will tell a story, and depending on the roll, we'll find out what it is. I roll a d6.
Spirits.
Hmm?
I love your face right now, Trey. Oh my god.
There's no way I'm gonna be able to improv that on the spot.
It's not
Oh.
necessarily that you have to tell one. It's the
It's
story determines the effect.
the story
Okay,
determines the
good.
effect.
Yeah,
So
dude,
I
once
rolled a
was
4.
female.
So the skull starts to move
Pour.
and speak a short story of a runaway. And my charisma modifier is a 4. So the entire party can teleport 30 feet from where they currently stand.
We have to see where we're going.
You
Rick is gonna
can
accidentally teleport into an armor set.
Ah!
when the target teleports, it can choose a number of creatures it can see within 30 feet of it, up to my charisma modifier. To teleport to an unoccupied space within 30 feet, they can see.
On y'all's teleporting. We're gonna take a break here.
Freaking zooms.
We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
All right.
Before we go, though, Aaron, party appreciation time. Go.
Oh,
I
All
appreciate
right.
everyone. I appreciate that Fida didn't kill me, even though she really tried to.
Wasn't on purpose, and it wasn't by my choice. That was Trail.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the roundabout that we are currently going through with Stalker as we see just how many sessions it will take for me to figure out obviously where you are from. I appreciate that Cricket has somehow started a new religion relating to bars, as I've heard half of and been here for half of.
Yeah.
yeah.
Priest in training.
Yeah,
Yes.
I appreciate Emerald freaking Trail out just now. Talking school, because College of Spirits is like my favorite bard college, and this is going to be a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And
Make a
and
list
the
of
fact that you
everything.
have a skull is fantastic.
Yeah.
For chat, because they brought it up, I just want you to know I literally picked this up just for Emerald.
Beautiful. And I feel bad I didn't hard-boil any eggs today for
It's
me
the
to be
same with this
eating throughout
chicken.
the session.
Situations happen.
And Trail, from the heart, I appreciate you putting up with me being gone every other week.
You're welcome.
I like being here.
We love you too much, Aaron. I couldn't do this
What
without you.
made you?
Yes.
What the world?
But with that, we'll be back in about 10 minutes. And
Bye.
once I figure out where everyone's teleporting to.
Well, we pick a space within 30 feet that we can see.
I'm gonna do it on accident because I don't know what.
So
the
you
hell,
couldn't really teleport into the suit of armor, but you could teleport to it because you cannot see inside of the suit of armor because it is occupying the space.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Momentum.
we're back. All right.
Okay, so as all of this is happening, Emerald, I'm holding onto the skull that is just pouring off this green energy. It seems to travel up my torso and then branch to Saphira, Stalker, Tanithil, Fida, and Cricket, and then we all blink.
Forgot to move. There we go.
Yep, Cricket, like, body slams one of the armors on accident as one of her
Jonathan is
random directions.
So, I just want to clarify something. Everyone blinks into a different random direction, including yourself there, Emerald.
I move to the opposite side of the room from him,
Very
behind him,
responsible.
and then
Okay.
continue talking. Well, also, I appear still palming the skull on the other side of the room.
Okay. Like, as, like, you do that, like, he instantly, like, turns in your direction. He's just like, whoa, that was so cool. Where's everybody else?
Anethil knocks on the window
Crash,
from,
crash.
from the garden.
As like he says this, like, you just knock on the window, and, like, looks off to the corner, like Cricket, like, crashes into one of the armor sets, and he's just like, hi, and he just
I'll
looks
just
like,
walk
No,
casually
no.
back into the room.
what's Stalker gonna do?
She teleported up the stairs as far as she could.
You're
And
out of
is-
eyesight.
She is just not going anywhere, just looking around.
Like, so everyone just kind of like begins kind of like coming back. He's just like, besides Stalker, he's just like, that was so cool. Where's the other one?
Stalker,
Yes?
Just like kind of like turns. He's like, that is a neat trick. Not going to lie at all. That's actually a really neat trick.
Guess I'll come back around to
It-
the front door and knock
In-
on it again.
expected.
Expected.
He just Jonathan just walks up to the door and opens it and just like lets you in. He's like, okay, with that.
Cricket blocks it. It's like, passwords.
He just goes,
Egg.
oh yes.
Have an egg.
Oh boy, yeah.
That is the
Distract-
correct password.
Yes.
You may come with me if you wish. That was rather interesting, to say the least. And he just kind of beckons you to follow him. Only him, I must say. Only him.
Just me?
Yes.
It's like,
Okay. I put the skull back in my bag and follow.
He says, it's
Vera
really
is
awesome.
quietly walking around upstairs, just looking around.
Oh! You actually continue all the way upstairs.
She started slowly, since they just continued conversation, she just started making her way upstairs slowly and around the corner.
Roll a stealth and a perception. Oh, yep.
That is a third. No, it's an 18 for perception, and a 23 with a natural 20 for stealth.
So, like, you actually can hear them coming up the stairs. You can hear Jonathan talking to Emerald, asking about where exactly the skull comes from. It's like you just kind of like have already dipped upstairs and everything. Did you go left or right once you got upstairs?
Saphira went to the right.
Okay. You just hear him as it's like coming upstairs. You can hear then about this point. Where are you headed?
She'll check this door real quick to see if it's unlocked. Oh, I should actually click so you could see.
As he kind of like will walk up to the door, just The door just opens and you just kind of like walk in.
Close it.
As like you guys come up the stairs there, Emerald, Jonathan's just asking, he's like, if you don't mind me asking, where exactly did you learn that with Skull?
I've picked up a lot of interesting things in my travel.
Well then,
Also, Tanithil gets a bait.
Bring my cat up to show
It
to the
was
stream
before
and
the
wasn't
gang.
here yet.
It was before the cat.
Well, I'm sure I was petting him when I got banned.
Sorry, before it got buried in chat, I figured I'd throw that out there.
Oh, roll 2 bans and DM picks which one I get.
Oh
oh,
boy.
your gains.
Well,
Hey, we
one,
finally have one
one
of those
again,
used.
and one is 5. Should I roll 2 again?
No,
No.
just roll again until you get
Just roll
something
that
other
one
than
again.
1.
It's still 1. 12. Okay. I have
Hit
disadvantage on the next skill check or the next attack I make that hits deals minimum damage.
I go with that one. Minimum damage.
How
That
does
should
that
be
work
fun
with
my
his?
rune. The next one does maximum
I
damage.
know.
So is
Cancels
it
it
It would
out.
just be
It's
normal.
okay.
One and then the other.
Oh yeah, that's right. It would just do
Oh,
one.
That's true.
And that being said, we have all received a party boon.
Oh. Well, why, thank you.
That's nice.
So, DM,
Holy crap.
roll a d20 for us.
Oh, okay. We'll do it that
You
way.
apologizing for besmirching the cat?
A 2.
2.
Resistance to a damage type for 1 hour. DM's choice, or we can roll for the damage type.
Bludgeoning.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm curious as to more about it than but before we do is he kind of like comes up to the doorway that's just right at the top of the stairs. He's like, give me a minute, and just kind of knocks on it. Does this kind of like knock to a certain extent and then whispers a incantation as he does.
2 things. Can I see the knock? And can I hear the incantation?
Roll perception and you can hear the incantation.
I
And
can't
like, are
hear
they
the
going up?
incantation?
He's not
Like-
whispering it quiet enough for you not to hear.
Are like what direction? Because if it's just Emerald, are we alone?
Yeah, you guys are alone.
And the main
And
That
Emerald's the
was
only one.
his first mistake. But hey, here we are.
Well, I'm gonna go walk around and explore things. That's for sure.
Perception would be a dirty 20.
You actually saw the type knock that he'd done to open the actual door.
Okay.
It's more of a just kind of a space to a certain type of interval. And then the incantation, which opens up and he's like, I'll be right back. And he kind of closes the door as he goes in. You can hear some movement on the other side. Saphira, you hear him say he'll be right back. Just letting you know. He eventually comes out. And he's carrying this, what appears to be a small, almost looks like a ball of fire to a certain extent, but it's a stone. It's orange and red. And he's like, this is that stone I was referring to. And he's just kind of holding and moving it back and forth in his hands. It's like, it's rather nice, I will say. I personally can't use it, but the person that had it before me, they could. He just kind of shows it to you. He doesn't. He's just like, deal is a deal.
And you can't use it for its ability, correct?
Correct. I cannot traverse to the ethereal plane using it.
So you can traverse to the ethereal plane with it, not just see it.
Correct. If you were able to use it, but I'm not the one that's allowed to. The one that I took it from could.
have you tried letting other people attempt?
I had a wizard from Aston actually tell me. I had him actually check it out and identify it and everything as such.
So only the original user can use it for
It's
its intended purpose?
the original user is the one that makes the stone. And the stone has a certain type of property that allows it to only be used as such. He just goes, but yes, deal still. And he kind of like turns around and goes to put the stone back in the room. He's like, be right back, and he just goes in, closes the door, and you just hear some shuffling around inside, and comes back out. Unless somebody's wanting to do something while he's in there.
What
Is that
is
the room
in the room
Stalker
that she
went
walked
into?
into?
Huh? No.
No,
Different
she
one.
is in this one.
Okay.
Oh, I
okay.
should move her.
I'm just picturing Stalker like behind the curtains,
Sucking
Behind
it,
a lamp.
holding back,
Right.
because she's huge.
Right.
Just trying not to bulge the curtain out at all.
Well, do anything while he goes in here? I can't.
What's
yeah, I
in the
wanna go
room that she
explore.
came into?
The room that you're inside is just a spare bedroom. It's got a bed with a drawer and a rug on the floor. The bed itself is made, but you can tell that there's a little bit of dust on the sheets and everything. The drawer itself is made of wood. It's rather nice still. It's of a red wood. There's also a mirror to the left-hand side of the right-hand side of the door. But
He's going to cast Detect Magic.
nothing in that room.
I lied. No, she's not. She already used it today.
Okay then.
Need a short rest before I can do it again.
Yeah. But yeah, no. After a while, it comes back out of the room. He's just like, "Oh yes, that was the stone."
Well, thank you for that.
And he just kind of motions for you to follow him back, go back downstairs. And he's just like, out of curiosity, it's like he's kind of like beginning to walk downstairs. What happened to your other friend?
The real question is what kind of trouble the rest of the party's stirring up.
Actually, while we're doing that, what is everyone else doing?
I want to go find those books. I'm gonna go find them books, please.
So, where did Cricket go in the downstairs area?
Just go look around for books, wherever that will be. Just gonna.
You only got a few
Go-
minutes, really. So,
Well, I'm originally was at the armor that I knocked over, which I did not put back in place.
okay.
I just kept it there. And then I am going to, I guess, walk into rooms until I find books.
Okay. Pick the first room that you go to.
Okay. What would be the closest room? It looks like there's no rooms in this place. So I guess that's not like
That double door, I guess.
what double door? I don't
That
know
one.
what a door looks like.
That one.
Okay. Oh, okay. Those. Yeah, I'll
White
go with
rectangle.
that one.
It's usually wood, about 6 to 8 feet tall, and about 2
Yeah, no,
3
we
feet.
don't have those. We only have windows. Those are doors you can see through.
So, as
Okay.
you kind of go through this door, you see a table with a bunch of cups and pots and small saucer plates. There's a bunch of chairs that are kind of like surrounding this table, and a plant that's kind of like off to the side. It's just a kind of a talking gathering room. There you can see there's no books inside this one.
Hmm.
That you can find.
Okay.
Go to another one.
She's gonna go to this room over here.
All right. As you kind of go into this one, you can see that there's a curtain off to the right-hand side that's kind of like separating this area. There's what appears to be like kind of like a fountain base area with water just kind of like dripping inside with a small table. You see a book on the couch that's inside this room. It's not a very big book. It's relatively thin, probably about 300 pages at most. If you look past the curtain, you see a bed with a drawer. On top of this drawer, there's actually a couple of books. Actually, there's about 3 or 4, varying in reading material between like the Ashland history, temples of Lilanor, and treasures from the Amdoria, the Isles of Amdoria. Were you still looking there, Cricket?
She's gonna pick that one up. She's gonna pick it up, and she's gonna pick up the temple one. She's gonna hold them, and she's going to go down the hall and go to the opposite room while holding those two.
The opposite room. Which one is
It's gonna
that?
be way over here on the hallway.
Alrighty. As like you kind of like open this door, you see like this like long shelf that stretches all around this room with a bunch of different books. All like talking about ancient old rituals by lost religions, actually, like religions that are no longer practiced for the most part. You see in the center is a stone. I want to say the proper term is pentagram, essentially, to a certain degree. In the
Yes.
center is just it's a generic one for the most part, one that would be used by most rituals. And you see that off to the far end of the wall that you're coming in from, you see 3 base fountains with water just kind of like coming in, and you see it shimmering to a certain degree. Each of the corners of the room has a torch that's lit up, lighting up the room as you come in. There's also 4 pillars on either ends of this pentagram, like basically kind of like creating a box to a certain extent as you go in.
She's really, this is what she wanted to find. She wants to look at like the religions, like forgotten religions, or anything about that.
Some of these
rituals.
religions. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, and things that have to do with planes.
Okay. You do find a couple of books on planes of existence. There's one on the Shadowfell realm that you're quickly like kind of like looking through.
Yeah.
Which by this point, I would say, like as you're flipping through that book, you hear Jonathan Tiller and Emerald coming back down the stairs. But what is Fida and Tanithil doing?
I already teleported out into his garden, so I'm gonna behave myself. I do want to ask Fida, what is the line between archaeology and grave robbing?
That is
I'm
a good
not
question.
there to weigh into that question, so I'm just not gonna say shit.
There's a part of me that thinks that it's how long things have been in the ground for. Are there any direct relatives still around? Not really sure though.
So, like,
Several thousand years, you know. Although granted, with you and your kind, that is like parent to the child.
yes, 2 or 3 generations of elves, and then you feel it's okay to take my grandfather's things. I don't like that. That doesn't sound very nice.
Not really, but we don't tend to go for things that are like in someone's like family back. It's more like my own family, we go more for temples and things like that. Those sorts of ruins.
I take it that you just talk with Tanthil, by the way, during this entire time. Okay.
The party has received another boon. DM,
Oh, yeah.
roll a d20 for us.
3.
3. We have advantage on our next saving.
All right.
All right.
As Emerald and Jonathan are coming down, he quickly just kind of is like, by the way, where is your friend? Stalker, if I'm not mistaken. As like he's coming down the stairs talking with you, Emerald.
I've been with you.
Huh. As like he's coming down.
You're asking the one who has been with you this whole time.
Out of curiosity, Cricket, you didn't close that door behind you, did you?
The which one?
The one that you're currently in.
Oh, I'll close it.
Okay.
Oh, I would love to close it.
Stealthily or not stealthily?
Oh, stealthily. I know what I'm doing.
Slam.
Roll a sleight of hand.
Yeah, oh, that's not it. Oh, God.
Rolls a 1.
No, I have so many boons. Just give me a sec. Okay, I gain advantage of my next skill check.
Still rolls a 1.
That's so much better. What is that?
No.
23. Okay.
The fingers had to come out.
The fingers had to come out. Like you just kind of quietly close doors. Like he comes down the stairs and sees Tanithil and Fiona, and he's just like, but yes, that's the stone. I hope you enjoyed it. Finally getting to see it. Is that all that y'all were wanting, by the way, for the evening? It is getting rather late.
Would you be
Well-
able to share with us where you found this mysterious lady?
Yes, actually, it's near the coast. The river that's not too far away from here to the east. It's about a day away.
Okay. I thought he was just going to leave it. It's near the coast, and I was like, clarification.
It actually gives you a lot more detail.
Around this time, Saphir's just gonna loudly call out, not yell, but someone say something.
Hello?
Something.
Keep talking.
Um,
And she's going to make her way out and down the stairs.
As like you're coming down the stairs, Jonathan's just like, were you always upstairs?
I guess so. That was interesting, Emerald. I didn't know you could do that. Also, your place is really big and confusing.
Just a bit. Sorry. Where's the bird?
she wandered off.
I noticed. He's kind of like just looking around at this point.
And by the way,
She
while I'm in
wanders a
there,
lot. Maybe we should
the
search
way-
for her.
while I'm in there, I did pocket the Shadowfell, most definitely. That's pocketed.
The whole shadow
Um,
fell
The whole
in your
plane,
pocket.
yes.
It's like Orion's belt.
I'm gonna have you
Alright.
roll another sleight of hand. I think that's to hide something.
think so. Keep pressing
Reaches
Stealth
the
in
good
pocket,
too.
pulls out Shadowfell creature.
I rolled the same thing, 23.
All right. So just kind of tuck it right underneath your robes that you're currently wearing. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I did get like pouch and stuff, travel backpack.
Yeah.
Right? Is that
Yep.
one of the things I got? Yeah. So it's just kind of.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I'll just call out Cricket. You should probably come back.
In all honesty, I don't like people just snooping around my place to just snoop.
Yes.
Yeah.
She gets
We're looking
distracted by
into
shiny
leash
things.
solutions.
I take it Cricket just comes out of the room there. Cricket.
Yes, she does, and she's going to play it off as just like, I need the bathroom. Where?
I don't know if that's deception or performance.
It's deception.
You
It's
okay?
deception.
Definitely lying.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
Deception
lying, but
is-
she's also acting.
Mhm.
That is included in deception if you
Okay.
read it. Performance is more for entertainment.
Still got some boons to go through. Okay, now I can move down to use this one. What? You gain proficiency or double current proficiency bonus on next skill check?
So, what is your proficiency currently for deception? Are you proficient in deception?
No, I'm not.
So
Okay.
just add your
You
Up
have
at the
proficiency
top of
bonus.
your
bonus.
sheet, what is your proficiency? Should be like a +2.
A 2.
So add 2 to your roll.
Okay, that's 13. Oy.
Like as like you come out, just like the bathroom's over there. He just points to a spot in the house, like over another room. If you're needing it, that is.
He's 8th egg. Stomach.
He just shows you to the room that the bathroom's in.
Okay, she goes in.
While she does that, I think we'll be going shortly here, but one last thing. As you are apparently about the only person in this village that regularly travels, what do you know about the memory anomaly that's taking place here?
Wait, what?
There it is.
Well, people from outside, they don't seem to know recent developments, and we have weird memory issues going on.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Saphira is watching him very closely because she was
Y'all
about to
can
ask the same
Insight.
thing.
Insight.
At 20.
Hopefully, because I don't get a good bonus.
You know
to
he's
that.
lying. He knows.
Oh,
Cricket's
it's a
gonna be
dirty
coming
20.
out. Cricket's coming
So-
out again.
So that's false.
I think we're done here.
Saphira is going to turn invisible and quickly move up next to him and pick him up.
Upon
Arms to shoulders. And lift.
where is everybody in this room?
I
That's
don't
a
know
good
where.
question. Where is
Three
he
of us are placed,
standing?
but yeah, where is he?
Where was the actual bathroom? Because I'll be coming from that direction. I guess from
I'm gonna
behind. I
use-
guess.
And where was he? So
Probably
Yeah.
up here is bathroom.
I would be next to them because I was walking down the stairs with them.
Okay, first off, one. I'm using Garrick's token. He's right here.
Token's a token.
Yep, token's a token right now. Cricket,
I needed
the
to
bathroom
oh,
that
it's still
he
upstairs.
pointed you to is over here.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I would be
Like,
coming.
he
right
led you
here.
over there real quick and then came back. Like, just boom, boom,
Yep.
real fast.
Yeah, I'm walking out, coming. Excuse me.
Which
do the stuff.
So,
direction was he
Okay.
facing?
huh? What
Which
direction? He was
direction
facing
was he
Tenville.
facing?
Facing Tenville,
Facing
so
Tenville?
this
Okay,
way.
so that would put her here.
To the, basically looking to the right of the room. Upon you going invisible, because he would see that out of his peripheral. Feet, are you where you would be?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And Emerald, you're where you would be?
I've been walking with them, so I'd be nearby or next to them, yeah.
Okay. Upon like Tanithil's like very abruptness and just kind of just being aggressive, and Stalker going invisible, which Stalker, you're not going to get that close. In
Okay.
all
I'll
honesty,
just move myself back.
yeah. You would get about right. Actually, yeah, you get about right there.
Okay.
You just hear him say just a straight incantation, and as soon as he does that, Tanithil, I want you to roll a perception.
Okay. 15.
You see, like in the corner of your eye, instantly, like the plants that have been in this room instantly just like start to grow, and a vine just whips out, like just instantly directly towards you.
Okay, we all
And
assumed
whether
it was the suits of armor.
I know, right? Roll initiative.
Have we
Check your
rested
boons,
since the
because
last
one
time
of
I
them
was in
has
combat?
advantage on that.
No.
Okay.
Yes, we
No, to be
have.
fair, yeah, you have, but you haven't been in
We-
combat this. You haven't slept since you
we have
got to the
absolutely
town.
rested because that's when we
we-
leveled up.
I
We
know.
haven't been
I
in
was
combat since
saying.
the morning.
I know. That's what I was saying. He has rested since then, just not since getting to this town. So I don't know if he's if Tanthil's used
so-
any other spells.
So
That's
I
what I'm
haven't
getting at.
updated my character
Yeah.
sheet from the last time we were in combat, so I need to have all of my things
Yeah.
back. Okay.
That's what I was getting at. I'm
Cricket
sorry
and
there.
Vita, keep in
Yeah.
mind you have an advantage.
Oh,
boon
I'm
on initiative.
aware.
Uh-huh.
So I selected disadvantage for my initiative, but it appears to have only rolled once, so let's see if I get worse than rolling a 3. I did not. 6 for me.
Oh,
So I have an advantage. Was it? Advantage.
17
I have-
for
initiative.
18 for Fida.
Okay, sec.
Okay. Hold up.
Advantage. That's 20 for cricket.
Give me 2 seconds.
And then let me get rid of that. Boon. Where? What? Wait. There it is. Oh.
All right. So what was Emerald's?
17.
Saphira?
19.
Jonathan.
20 for cricket.
For Jonathan. All right, Cricket.
20.
Fida?
18.
Okay.
I never rolled.
Right on.
Tanithil.
6.
And then boink, and really? Really?
We are
Monsters
resistant
shall
to
act together.
bludgeoning
Bludgeoning.
damage.
Everyone has resistance to bludgeoning damage.
I like how I put in everybody's initiatives and it deleted it. So now it's a 0 again.
Oh
Shit.
no.
I know.
saw the
10
zeros
10
changed
was
into
at 6, which
Yeah, yeah.
means he's at the bottom. Fida, you had 20, correct?
I had 18. Cricket had 20.
Okay, so Cricket's at the top. And then you had
Oh.
18.
Oh,
What's
I can actually
Saphira's?
set mine.
Again,
Hang on. I can set it for you.
thank you.
Yeah, we can all write in our own numbers.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
that'd
we could
be
do that.
appreciated. But I do believe I got it right. So, that being said, this monster is going to actually be able to get a hit in first. Just letting you know real quick. 14 hit there. Tackle? I don't think it does.
No.
No. So like it's just a vine just like right out towards you. Like you just instantly like kind of like duck and just kind of like look at it real quick and then back to Jonathan and then if I'm not mistaken,
Sure.
Crickets, you're up.
Yes. All right. Boo, 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 boo. Do, 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 do. I have things. Movements 40. Ruler. Exactly 40. Here I come, bitches. Actually, I want to
Water.
hit him. I want to go for this dude. Boop. Boop, shit. Right there. Send. It's been a while since fought stuff.
I know.
I know. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to make a quarterstaff hit.
Okay.
We're gonna go versatile. So there's roll an attack, which I have a boon for that as well. What is? Add 1 to your attack roll. That's really good. And that's math. 23 to hit him.
Like you just basically just book it across the mansion, just as like you just kind of like jump up and land on this like center uh table in the room. You just crack like right across his chest. Roll damage.
Yep, and I'm using one of my because I have 2 of these boons because I got the same thing. Is the next attack you make hits deals max damage, so that is a max of 1d8 plus 5, so 8 plus 13 damage.
Like it just you just see him just like you can see him just lose his breath as like you just like land like right in his chest. Is that your turn?
Nope. Then I am going to. Guess what will this count as? I want to. I guess unarmed strike to hit him up here to pick him up and slam him down the ground to hold him down to the ground.
Okay. Roll an attack roll.
Uh, 24 plus 4 is
Like
25.
so like it just
Not that great.
like you say, you just kind of like uppercut him as you do. You just kind of like grab his throat and just like right down onto the ground. Roll damage.
Yep, and that also will then use the last of that one. Another max damage that because I had 2 of them. So it's unarmed, so many tabs. 1d4, so 4 plus 5, so 9 damage. And yep, I'm just holding him there, like knees on joints of his arms, just on the ground.
As like he's just kind of like you're holding him on the ground. You just seem like he's just trying to like gasp for air for a brief moment. Stalker, you're good.
Since she has him down, she's going to rush at the plant. Around
No, that's 1 turn, so I
them
got 2 more turns.
here, here. How big is this plant?
It's about 7 feet tall.
Like bulky, or is it mostly vine?
Like it's the base of the plant itself, like the stalk that's holding it up, is about a foot wide. It's pretty thick, and then it's about 7 feet tall.
Okay. The yeah, she's going to start ripping away at the base with her claws and trying to essentially rip it out at the root, rip apart where it's coming out of the soil.
Okay. Roll.
Slowly sever it.
Guess roll a strength check then.
Okay.
Or an attack roll. Either one works.
That's a. Which do you want, an unarmed or a strength check?
Unarmed.
Okay. 25.
Like you just see Stalker just start ripping apart this pot, just pulling it apart, trying to get this plant out from.
She suddenly appears with her eyes glowing already. She looks
Yep.
fairly calm, but her eyes are glowing the same way you've seen multiple times.
Vita, your go.
I am going to cast Firebolt at the plant that Stalker is not at. I'm assuming Stalker is at this one.
Yes.
I need to zoom this in a whole lot because
Tearing at
I
it with her
can't see who
claws,
people-
because smashing a plant with a hammer doesn't seem like it would do much.
yeah, I'm going to cast Firebolt at the one over by Tanithil.
You
Okay.
cut plants, not smash them.
You burn them is what you do.
That too.
That is a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. What is the extra damage I get? 10 plus another 4. That is 13 fire damage.
As like you just hit it, it just lights up. This fire just-
Firebolt. Is it flammable, this plant? Because
what
it
you can
only
tell-
lights things that are flammable. So if it's dead, it's going to light on fire. Otherwise, it's just getting hit with the fire damage.
I mean, it's plant, and that's gonna be somewhat, how should I say, vulnerable to it. I would say. If you try and
I was
light
just
like a,
saying because Firebolt doesn't ignite creatures or items that are on.
I'm not saying it's igniting. I'm just saying it's
Yeah,
taking.
yeah.
You can tell it's vulnerable to it.
Yeah.
It hurt.
Like it just
Yeah.
it hurt.
Your description made it sound like it ignited.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's understandable.
No
Is
worries at
that it for your turn?
Yep, that's it.
Emerald, your turn.
We just wanted to talk. Emerald is going to unsheath their mace. And I'd like to make a... what's the word for it? Non-lethal strike on the fellow.
It's gonna be a. It's gonna have advantage from, I'm mistake, if it hits, it's a crit. So yeah, pretty much
They're
non-lethal.
they're prone but not restrained, so I don't get crit if it hits.
Okay.
That's they're
Just advantage.
incapacitated.
Okay.
Yep, they'd have to be incapacitated.
And
Okay.
It's just on the
But
ground.
non-lethal. Good to know. Okay.
Not non-lethal. Bonk.
Well, if it's a crit anyway.
It's really close. I missed it by one.
Ooh.
So 19 plus 4, 20.
Like you just take your match just like right across his head. Roll damage.
Mini golf his head.
I do have max damage. I do also have one of these, which is a and 1 2 damage. 1 second here, doing some math.
Yep.
So it'd be 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 damage.
Just his head just instantly knocked to the side and just out cold.
We're just fighting plants.
Which
Hold on, just seeing something real quick here. Where'd it go? Nah, can't do it. Go ahead. That'll be my.
the one that's right in front of Tanthel is just going to make a just instantly trying to swipe at Tanthel.
Well, that hits one of them.
One of them does. But remember, you have resistance to bludgeoning.
I do. So I'll take 5.
And then the other one's going to attack Stalker, just doing the exact same thing. Yep, nope.
No.
Neither one of those.
16 is for AC, I think. Yeah.
So the first attack, against Tanthel, hits. The other one towards Stalker just misses completely. It's just swiping in there at you. Tanthel, your go.
All right. Well, I am going to bonus action start my blade song, and I want to jump over this fountain we have in the middle to go to the other side of the one that Stalker is on.
All right. You will be leaving the area for this one, though, I would say, correct?
If it's got reach, I should be staying in its threatened area, since it's been hitting me from range the whole time.
Yeah, true. So you're good.
Okay. Then I'm going to flank and attack this one. And did whoever was playing me last week show Trail my new feat?
Nope.
think so.
No? Cool. So when I have advantage, I'm rolling 3 times instead of twice.
What?
That's 7 sucks, though.
Well, it's advantage, so it's not a 7.
Oh, yeah, it's 24.
Okay, so it's the 19 is the highest one then, so 24 to hit. And assuming that hits, I also have maximum damage on my next attack, so that will be 11 piercing damage to the plant.
You just stab directly, right into its base. Even though, Stalker's, in the midst of, just ripping it apart. All right.
That is my turn. Bonus action.
Cricket, your go.
Okay. I'm eating gummies, sorry. Aren't gummies made out of bones? That's cool. Cow bones.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. If he's out cold,
yeah.
She's okay. Let's see. She's going to pick up his body and lay him on the couch over there, right here.
Roll a strength.
Will do. Do I have any sort of boon for that? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Okay. I want to check though. That's good. What is that? 18.
All right. Pick up Jonathan there, just kind of drag him over the couch and just
lay him down.
Lay him down.
Okay. What movement was that? So that would be. Okay. Will that count? I think that counts as an action.
That does.
Okay. Hold on just a second. Sorry. Okay. Which one is still in a pot?
They're both still kind of in a pot. Well, this one's definitely in. This one's on the verge of being ripped out.
Okay. Cricket gets your idea. Okay, so she's going to make the movement, jump over the water, and go to this one. And
they'll be 10 times stronger once they're freed from their pot restraints.
Yeah,
Never
it's
know.
worse. She's
Then
going
they can
to
move.
pick up, like, squat down, pick up the pot, deadlift it, and like slam it upside down so the pot weight is on top of the plant. Unless that would be a bonus action, or I can't. If not, I'll just stand next to it.
I would say you get to stand next because this thing is 7 feet tall.
True. Big plant.
Yeah, but it's a plant.
He means the weight of the pot plus the plant itself is 7 foot tall.
Oh, the pot is
Yeah.
7 feet tall.
No,
No.
pot,
The plant
Oh.
itself.
the plant
plus
is
the
7
pot.
feet tall,
Oh,
and just the
And
the
it's-
thing that's like
I was like,
basically
oh my god!
like the body of the
Like-
plant is like
Okay.
a foot wide,
Then
and
I
it's got a
push it
head at the
over.
top.
So
Like
it's like a brain. Small tree.
Oh, okay.
Starts with an S.
I want to push it
You
over.
know what I mean. Sapling.
Do I have enough ability action, I guess, or to even do that? Though?
I'll let you
I
have a
don't
roll.
think so.
I'll let you have to roll a strength.
I just want to. Oh, that's even better than the last one. 21.
Like Cricket just like kind of like runs up, just like pushes this thing over. As it like falls over, it's like already like putting its vine down to push itself back up. Stalker, your go.
No, that's cheating.
Well, since he's unconscious, she's gonna keep tearing at the roots.
Roll
Or
an
the-
unarmed attack.
The base. That's that's a really bad one. That's
Well, you got advantage.
I do?
Yeah,
you're flanking it, derp. Not much better, but it's much better. 16.
Okay.
You just ripping apart this plant, just as like you do, like the pot just like falls apart, and the soil that was inside it, kind of like holding it, just falls away as the roots of the plant just instantly begin like kind of like forming like legs to a certain extent,
Yeah, see,
keeping
now
it
it can
standing
walk.
upright.
It's mad
pushing
that
it.
I'm ripping away at its legs.
Vita, your go. If that's all you're doing, like stalker.
Yeah, that's 7
I
damage with rage.
am
Okay.
going to firebolt the same one.
Alright.
That's a dice on the ground.
Okay.
That's 14 plus 7 for 21.
21.
Yep.
That hits.
For 9 damage. Fire.
As like you just kind of like blast it, just same again. The fire effect just is exasperated a little bit as just before it shrinks back down to to being non-existent. Is that it for your turn?
And that's it for me.
Ready? Emerald, your go.
Sure. How do I want to do this? I'm going to sit on the legs of the unconscious fellow, just in case.
Okay.
And I'd like to vicious mockery the plant Saphira's attack.
I love it.
Wisdom save.
What save does it need? Wisdom save?
What will you say? I want to know what will you
Please tell me
say.
you have something
What are
on
you gonna
your
say?
mind.
Oh, I got you.
I knew it.
What's the fiercest type of flower? It's a dandelion.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
We all take psychic damage from the bad joke.
Oh God. How much
The mockery
damage is
spreads
that?
to everyone.
It's a D4 plus 1 because of my boon.
Mhm.
Did,
Did it
did
make
it
it save?
did it
No,
make
it
a
didn't.
save of
No.
13?
No, it did not.
Oh, I'm just curious.
It takes 4 damage.
Just the plant just
Right.
like kind of freezes for a second and looks at you.
Wow.
And has
I
disadvantage
would
on
have
its next
failed the
attack.
save too.
And his disadvantage on his next attack.
The plant that like Cricket pushed over just like pushes itself up half its movement, and so just makes 2 swings at her. Hi, Noah. You're so needy of a cat. I don't think either one of those hits.
It's who?
Cricket, what's your AC?
Definitely more than that.
All right, so we're good. Like it just makes like 2 swipes at her, just completely misses. The one that's between Stalker and Tanathil instantly turns to attack Tanathil, and 21 hit.
Ooh.
That
I'm gonna
hits.
shield because it's fun. It misses.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Can't stop
25
it.
SD.
Clarification from Wise Guy: is that boon for Trail's cat or for Trail? The cat.
Cat gets a
Your
boon.
cat has received a boon.
Oh my god. What if Noah turns out to be the end boss of the
At this
campaign
point, that's
and-
what's gonna happen.
Just
and
Slowly
has
slowly
like
building
building.
2,000 boons at the end of it? Oh my god. That would be so bad.
It's like
Time for
it's
you
it's
to
a
meet the
giant.
final boss.
It's a
Tanathil, you're
manticore.
Okay.
Oh no.
Place cat on board. It's about gargantuan size. There you go.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna stab.
That's for you,
'cause
wise guy.
That's what you do. And does a 21 hit?
Burps
That
in the
hits.
plant's face.
Well, now I have minimum damage, so I will do 4 piercing damage to the one in between me and Stalker.
All right, like as like you see Tanathil just kind of like hesitate for a second and just poke it very lightly.
Yeah. Precisely and lightly.
Is that all your turn there, Tanathil?
Yes.
Cricket, here you go.
She might need a second. One of
She's
the chat
breaking.
switched to speakers right before she burped, and it echoed throughout James's house.
You're welcome, James.
Oh man.
I can imagine that. That's amazing. Why can I hear it in my own ears?
Now it's taken over her whole brain.
Yeah, I don't know what else to think about.
Burp the plant to death.
Yes. I am going to hit it with my quarterstaff. Where yes. So if I attack versatile, will I still be able to do an unarmed strike, or does that take away the ability to do an unarmed strike?
The unarmed strike is a bonus action. The
Yeah.
versatile is whether you're wielding it in one or two
Or
hands.
both hands.
When you
Okay, I
swing
wasn't
it.
sure if that will, like, with 2 hands it limits.
Unarmed strike
Ability.
doesn't even have to be your hand. You can kick them.
That's right! or
Or headbutt.
Or head,
Pagan.
almost, or headbutt.
Nobody wins in a headbutt.
Pagan did.
Pagan wins with a headbutt.
Oh yeah. So yeah, then I'll go versatile. And I'm going to go. Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do a quarterstaff, and with this mouth, I'm going to, when it's open, I'm going to take the quarterstaff and I'm going to slam it in its mouth, going the horizontal way, to knock its head back,
Roll
and then
attack.
use one arm. That's really good. What is that math? 21
Roll damage.
plus 1, so 22. Because I have the boon for +1 to attack rolls for 2 more turns, so that is 7 plus 5. 12?
And it's like you just like crack right across his face. His head just rips completely off. The plant just splits in half, like right at the top, and just lips off to the side.
Okay. So, let me look at the map. So with that type of movement, it's going to use the momentum and keep spinning herself until she comes with a kick. Like a 360 kick. And kick.
And kick.
Yeah, so probably a jump movement and then kick. Unarmed. So movement to lead into an unarmed strike. That makes sense. I'm trying to think of it as a... Don't worry about the thing. I'm just going to move and kick
You're
it.
still in place.
Okay, roll attack roll.
Okay. I have a chest on my Twitch. Okay. Sorry, I grabbed it. I usually never catch those. Okay,
I just
sorry.
got one
Sure
too.
Make sure you click chests if you see them. They give you
Yes.
bonus claws.
18 plus 25, 26 to hit.
That hits.
1d4 plus 5. That's a straight 4 plus 5 is 9 damage. Going to kick it in its head.
All right.
9 damage.
So, like as like you just kind of like moving, there's like its head's just completely rocked. As Stalker, you're in like the middle of like ripping this plant apart, and Tanthal's just kind of lightly kicking it.
Okay, well,
Stalker, your go, because I think that's it. Correct, Kevin?
Oh. And she'll keep ripping it apart the way she is.
Okay.
See if she
Well,
can
attack roll.
rip the legs away before it can move. Oh, not with that she won't. That's a 9.
That like
that with
as like it.
advantage?
Huh?
Was that with advantage?
I forgot we were flanking. Hold on. Okay, that's much better. That's a 23.
Ripping it apart. Roll damage.
It's unarmed, so I don't roll anything because I'm not a monk.
Oh.
It's just 7 damage
Okay.
because
So-
she's raging.
All right. So you're just tearing this thing apart, and it's like you're just starting to pull off roots and leaves and parts of like the vines and everything. Fida, your go.
I am gonna firebolt that one.
Roll.
I don't like that roll, so that's a 12 hit.
12 does not.
I'm gonna use Favorite of the Gods and add 2d4 to it. For a 17.
That hits. Roll damage.
$13.
As like your fire bolt just right through the air, it just lights this plant creature instantly up on fire. It just smolders to a crisp and just falls crumpled to the ground.
Emerald kind of looks at it and just goes, "How does a flower whistle?"
Dandelion.
By using his 2 lips.
Aww.
And with that, we're going to end it here for the evening. And for that honor, you get to close this out.
Oh boy, cool. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Oh, party appreciation before we close out.
Oh my god!
Tanathil has one more party appreciation.
I already
the
appreciated everybody.
The people or the character.
Okay.
Appreciate us again. The chat demands it.
Oh man.
All right. I'll appreciate the people. Most of you I've met in real life.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Been a couple
Everybody but
years.
Otter. Otter, I want to meet you because I love your magnificent beard, and one that I could never compare to. Your beard is bigger than my head.
I think it might be bigger than mine, too.
Yeah. Okay. Given you are just as goofy on stream as in real life, so I appreciate that you are authentic and fun to be around.
Oh.
Juju, I've known you just as long as everybody else here but Ayana. Met you in Florida as well. I mean, you've been around for pretty much everything we've done. I enjoy spending time with you. All of our various D&D adventures, some Guild Wars stuff. Just a fun guy to be around. Ayana, you all are always bugging me about my painting and whatnot, so it's fun to have someone interested in the various hobbies I've got. So thanks for keeping up with me on those things.
Absolutely.
And Trail, I appreciated who you were as a person before, but I've never played a game with you, so I can't appreciate your character because you're always the DM.
I'm always the DM.
But I appreciate the amount of work you put in for us. Always getting better as a DM and just putting all this together so that we can have a good time playing.
I would like to throw something out there too, just to add on to that, because I first started playing D&D 2 years ago, maybe, with Trail. Kept bugging me over and over.
Play.
Come on, join this game that I'm running with Given and a few others. And I agreed to join with Otter. Our characters knew each other in this game, and it was meant to just be a one-time guest. And because of the connection between our characters and the way Trail built it, I got sucked in. And
Had a nice Star Wars game.
by the end of the
God.
game, the two of us were a walking armoire of vibro axes, and it was beautiful. And Trail, you have come so far as a DM, and you continue to improve, and I love it so much. Just to tack on to what Aaron said,
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
keep doing
I
you.
will-
That's how you get to Cap's level, is you just keep doing, and Breck's level.
I just want it to be known that in that Star Wars campaign, Otter's character had me rethink entirely balancing of enemies
To be
to
fair,
being nothing
when you
but
told
long
me,
ranged.
when you asked me to join that game, you said the party needed a front line, a tank. So I brought you a freight train.
I said tank,
He was.
not a flippin' whatever. Walking Death Star, literally.
Yep.
Everybody always thinks
Oh.
of tanks as just things that absorb damage, but you know tanks have a lot of weapons on them too.
It's this giant
Yeah.
cannon that's generally
Graz
attached to a
would
tank.
Graz will
Yeah.
kill and take damage as much as you wish.
But before we get to
That
that,
was
we
said.
should probably
Yes.
close things up.
Yes.
Yes.
So again, thank you everyone for joining us. Make sure to check out some of the rest of the games we have going on throughout the week. Mondays, we're still off right now for the season break for the Troubleshooters, but come in next week. We're starting season 3 on the 13th. Tuesday, we have A World at War, which is a 2nd edition Scions game. They're getting into some crazy stuff. Definitely come check it out. Wednesday, we have Falskallen Knights, ran by JT. I'm not sure what you guys are up to.
I don't know, but I flirted with a ghost.
That's what
Okay.
we're up to, flirting with
We're-
ghosts.
We're flirting
And-
with ghosts on Wednesday. Come check it out.
And harassing random people we saved that just want to be left alone.
I know. We're
And
gonna get money.
Thursday, we're back with A Knight's Ransom, trying to figure out why all of the guards are gone in the outpost we're at. Not sure what's going on there. Saturday, we'll be back with another episode of The Stolen Cities as they continue their third arc of the campaign. And then Sunday, we'll be back to some more Verinheim, where I promise not to throw any more flower puns at you next week.
Just next
Maybe.
week, though.
Maybe.
Huh?
And then Fridays.
There's a whole world of
you
other
should go
puns,
check
though.
out the channel for Precarious. He runs a game on Friday nights that is horror themed. So and also discretion is advised. It's got mature content in
fact-
there, but it's an awesome game, and you should definitely check him out. And he's an awesome DM and a great storyteller. So if you're looking for good spooks, check out Friday nights Precarious's channel on Twitch.
Okay, everybody have a lovely evening, and we'll see you next week.